Hello, I'm Toycat and welcome back to a fake scam video. That's right, I'm here today in the flesh, or someone who looks like me and is wearing a Toycat t-shirt is here today in the flesh to talk about something serious that I guess every YouTuber goes over at some point, which is YouTube, the site itself. That's right, I wanted to talk about YouTube, and not in the way that every other YouTube does, where it's like, YouTube is killing my channel and here's why, maybe you should throw me some money to make that better. No, this isn't about me, this is instead about you and YouTube. They're clever, but this is about you, and it's about YouTube, the platform, and how you can hopefully get more out of it, because they made some subtle tweaks recently that kind of made it not necessarily great for the viewer and instead better for YouTube recently, and I wanted to let you know what those changes were, so again, you can work through them and you can hopefully get more out of the site in general. So yeah, this is just kind of factually talking about that. It's not about my channel, it's about the site in whole. Hopefully you all do enjoy talking about what the whole thing is, and yeah, I wanted to hopefully go deep dive into it. Hopefully you do enjoy the video. Like if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot and stops me saying hopefully so many times in a row. So also feeds the wife and kids. But let's get straight into talking about exactly what I was saying then, because YouTube, again, has like something that I think is a real issue right now, where it's, again, they've got an algorithm on their homepage, which I've always been a fan of. A lot of YouTubers start by saying, my YouTube videos have been doing less well recently, this is YouTube's fault, YouTube wants to kill my channel. They come with ridiculous reasons, like, well, my channel is so old, they just figure I should get off the site, and they're trying to kill me. You know, they come with ridiculous, like, conspiracy theories that aren't good for YouTube or then, but no, today's thing is actually, you know, the factual information of how the homepage does work. So the homepage was introduced, it was something like 10 years ago now. I remember it was a really long time ago, like when I was just getting into YouTube. They introduced the homepage on YouTube, which is just the starting page on the app, and it's just the, you know, youtube.com if you're on the PC. It's just that page right there where, you know, you go there and you see a bunch of your subscriptions, channels you subscribe to, but you also see brand new videos that would be in your recommended bars or that YouTube thinks that you might like. And the reason for this is because you don't always just want to watch what you already know. Sometimes you want to discover new things. So this was really good for two reasons. First of all, it allows you to discover new content. This is a good thing. Discovering new stuff is good, right? Like, you know, if just because you're not watching a YouTube channel yet, it doesn't mean you don't enjoy it. And also, it had the extra benefit of allowing you to, I guess, work out what you're going to watch a little bit better. Like, watch some new channels, watch some old ones, and just get more out of your viewing experience. It was a good thing in general. A lot of people don't like these recommendation algorithms because they usually have ulterior motives. Like, on Facebook, for instance, you know, like, it took your friends' feeds and it made them out of order, and then just put loads of stuff in there, but then they start putting ads in the middle, and, you know, my point being is lots of people don't like these things, but they're all over the internet, and I did not like it because on YouTube, it was fine. It was just recommending stuff that you would already watch at some point. Like, it was finding you things that you wanted to watch and bringing them to you before you found them. It was like, again, it's kind of clever if it works perfectly, and I thought that was really good. They do a bunch of really clever testing if you're curious as to how they do this. Like, it's called A/B testing, where if there's someone who watches the same videos as you, and then they enjoy this new video, they might show you this one they enjoyed. It's really, really confusing stuff, but it basically means that YouTube's homepage used to show you videos you might want to watch at some point in the future. I really think this is a good thing, and I think this is why so many of us love the homepage. I only watch the homepage for the most part because, oh yeah, you're gonna find great new stuff there. Sometimes I find like terrible, like, you know, I think it was like, I just yesterday saw like Fireflies, but every single word is reversed, but the melody is the same, and it's like, why am I watching this? Why is this being recommended? But sometimes it actually is like, oh, this is a cool new channel for this game, or this is a, you know, sometimes you find new stuff there, and it's really good. That's my point. YouTube homepage was really good. However, YouTube recently made a change a few years ago, so instead of prioritizing, you know, like, they changed their priorities in the system, and they made it so watch time is the one thing they want. They want you to stay on YouTube for as long as possible, because that's good for them, and, you know, that's good for the thing. So this means that even if you're watching one video for an hour, that's a good thing. Even if you're watching, you know, like, lots of videos, as long as you're staying on YouTube for the longest time, YouTube likes it. And they recently, even more recently than that, changed the homepage, so it doesn't just recommend you stuff that you might want to find. It instead does something which I think is a little bit trickier, honestly, and it tries to recommend two things. One is newer content, things that have been uploaded more recently. The reason for this, if I had to guess, was so that you get, like, you're more likely to subscribe to a channel if it's only just, you know, you're seeing something that's brand new and therefore it's like hot and fresh, and at that moment you're more likely to want to subscribe or something. I'm not entirely sure, but they recommend new stuff, and they recommend stuff that will keep you on YouTube for longer, so, you know, even if it's not something you necessarily prefer. So if they were going to recommend you something that you would really like, but that might take you off YouTube, then they won't recommend it. They'll instead recommend this thing you don't like quite as much. Let's call it, like, they won't recommend the 10 out of 10, they'll go to a 9 out of 10, but they'll be like, well, the 9 out of 10 will probably keep you going longer. Again, the way they actually work this stuff out, you might think, how does a website know that? You're being crazy, Toycat. It's because they do lots of testing on the, you know, there's like hundreds of millions of users of YouTube. They do lots of testing to see which videos are more likely to let people off YouTube, which videos are more likely to have people click through. They use all this data together, or I should say a machine learning algorithm uses this data to put stuff together. And in case you're curious, this algorithm, this crazy collection of data, isn't even managed by any people right now. It's literally a machine that just, so machine learning is a really complex thing, but basically it tries to improve itself. It takes the algorithm, it improves over and over again. It's kind of like artificial intelligence or whatever, but on a really basic level. And the whole goal of this box is to make you watch more YouTube videos and to watch for a longer time. And that's fine, right? That's fine. Like, oh yeah, watching more YouTube. I love YouTube, and now YouTube wants me to do it more. However, it's kind of like a little bit tricky when you realize the entire purpose of the homepage now is just to make you watch YouTube videos for a while. And I watched a good video by Veritasium where he basically, channel I'd recommend it on the subject, but he mentioned something like, oh yeah, well the thing about if this problem is if they want you to watch for as long as possible, this means, motivational videos, for instance, they're gonna be less, taken away from that. Any video that might motivate you to get off YouTube and do something great in the real world, that's never going to show up because you'll get off YouTube and you'll be gone. Or something that takes you to a different website, that's gonna be gone because it takes you somewhere else. And this means that everything has to have this focus of staying on YouTube. If someone motivates you too much to go out and do a thing, then guess what? Then video is not going to be recommended. And this is where it starts to get dangerous. There's a lot of ulterior motives. Not only, like, I think the biggest one is like, oh yeah, if a video encourages you to do something that's not on YouTube, then they don't want to recommend it to you. But also in the newness thing. I feel like this focus on new stuff, which again, I get why it's there, but I feel like it's really overly focused. In fact, let me show you just right now how focused new stuff is. So I'm going to go to my homepage live right now. You can't see it, but the very top video is 12 hours ago. The second video is 11 hours ago. The third video, 2 years ago actually, and then it's 13 hours ago, 4 months ago, 1 day ago, 4 months ago, live right now, then 15 hours ago, 15 hours ago, 9 hours ago. There's a whole category called recently uploaded here. There is this real focus on new content. I'd say, looking at this page right now, more than half the videos being recommended to me are from the last day or two, and that might sound like, oh yeah, not a bad thing, like why does it matter when these videos are being recommended? And it really does though, because it means that you can't follow any channel in particular. They want you to be this transient viewer that follows so many channels, but this means that you can't stay up to date with any particular channel. And this is something I've been seeing so much in my videos where people, they say they love to watch the Toy Cat videos and they're really impressed by this and that, but they're watching every Toy Cat video that's being recommended to them, but that isn't all of them, because if you miss something in the first 24 hours, if you're just not there, then odds of you being recommended that video, even if you do quite like it, go down quite a bit. And I feel like, again, in my channel's case, I see this in a lot of time in comments where it's quite frustrating because it's like, oh yeah, I upload a video on this thing, and I'll see people 3 or 4 days later being like, Toy Cat, you should really make a video on this. And I'll see so many comments, like hundreds of comments, but it'll be like, I made a video 3 or 4 days ago, and people just don't know, because once that video goes past a certain age, it drops off in views altogether. You can see this if you're a YouTube creator, you can see in your analytics, but if you just take my word for it right now, that what happens is the first 24 hours, or even less than that, I'd say, the first like 6 or 12 hours, you see this giant peak where it's being recommended like wildfire, and then it massively drops off. And you might think, well, this is normal, Toy Cat, because people watch videos when they're new, that's how they subscribe to your channel and stuff. But the problem is this really means that the only focus on YouTube should be the first 12 hours after it is uploaded. The idea of making long-term content is kind of gone at that point, because if you make a YouTube video and it's gone in 12 hours, you might as well, one, upload a bunch more, like at least twice a day. I upload twice a day anyway, but lots of channels switch to uploading 4 times a day, and even if they're worse videos at 4 times a day, you're going to get more views total, and therefore that's the better. Again, if they're encouraging creators to do that, that's a bad thing, because again, where the business incentives are on YouTube, that's where people tend to go. And that's why, there's at the very least, every channel right now is like a daily vlogger. They're the popular ones, because the more you upload, the more you get from that. And that's fine. I've always thought, like, whatever, upload the amount you need. But now that means that YouTube really just has a focus on like new. Also, don't take people off YouTube. And I feel like if you're just only watching your homepage, that's all you're going to get from YouTube. You're just going to get like a whole bunch of this from today, and then maybe some older stuff, but is that necessarily the right things? And all I want to say with today's video is that has a lot of negative consequences, not only for the viewer, but also sometimes for the creator, because now that means, from my perspective, maybe I should be uploading 3 or 4 times a day. I mean, right now, I'm not, I only really do it when updates come out, but it would be in my interest to, like, instead of doing, like, interesting, like, find some facts about this or that, just to do, like, let's make up a thing, like, four episodes of something, or like, oh yeah, why not load Minecraft Story Mode, but split it into 10-minute episodes, upload, like, 6 of those a day. There's, the incentives as a YouTuber right now are really kind of confused and mixed, and that's because you as a viewer are just being recommended this stuff in a really weird way, and that's why all the trends on YouTube are happening right now. That's why everything's confusing, and that's why there's this big focus on like non-inspiring content, in my opinion, which isn't good. I really like that I've been uploading videos to YouTube for like 5 years now. There are some really cool videos in there that I basically would have to make again if I want people to see, because they're dead now. Like those videos are just like dead and gone. There are so many videos that YouTube's just never going to show anyone again, and because they're not showing it to people, how are people going to find it? They really want people to watch this homepage, and right now, again, because it was so good for so long, people are kind of doing that. So all I'm going to say right now in this video is don't change your habits. You don't have to worry about me, this channel. You don't have to worry about anything for that. But I will say, if you want to watch your favorite creators, if you like to see them, you know, over a long period of time, rather than just like that one day they have to upload a video, or like, you know, this, if they upload a video in the last few hours or whatever, if you want to follow a creator, make sure instead of subscribing's basically gone as an idea, right? Like subscribing, it sometimes shows up on that homepage, but only when it's new and only if YouTube thinks you'll watch it anyway. But what I'd recommend is either check your subscriptions page. Again, most people aren't going to do that, but if you want to see, you know, if you want to stay up to date with whatever your favorite YouTuber is, there's a lot I try to stay up to date with, then your subscriptions is the best place to do that. Like, I'll check mine right now, actually. So if we say subscriptions, it goes from being this big kind of sea to like, oh yeah, I can see a video, you know, in order. I can see there's a Linus Tech Tips video here. I can see there's a video from Philip. You know, you can see all these channels in order. It's like, I can stay up to date that way. Or what I realistically recommend a little bit more is YouTube has like a second tier subscribe option now. Pick the channels that you really want to guarantee you'll watch and hit notify. There's like a bell icon. If you hit that, either on your phone or on your PC, again, I've been saying this a lot recently because it's a realization I've just had in my head that like, if you want to see videos from a YouTuber, you've got two options, I guess 3 options. You can go to subscriptions page, you can hit the bell and actually have a real subscription, because YouTube, again, subscription used to mean like, show me their videos when they come out. Now it just means like, maybe show it to me. If you want to like, tell YouTube, I want to see this channel, you hit the notification bar. And the only third thing I'd say is like, check out the YouTuber channel pages. This is how I used to find YouTubers back in the day, and honestly, it's still how I like to do it. Once YouTube's homepage recommends a channel I like to go through their channel, hit the channel page, and just, you know, either sort by most viewed or just like scroll through, find videos that way that I do quite like, and I think that's what you should be doing on YouTube now, because if you don't, then you're not going to see the giant catalog of stuff that might have some great stuff in there. Like, again, if you only want to stay up to date with the latest stuff, YouTube's homepage got you covered. If you don't want to get off YouTube, you want to watch for hours in a row, that's great. But I feel like YouTube is not doing great on all the other stuff, and that's why I wanted to make today's video, just to get that out in the open, and I hope that I did, and I hope that you now know what you should do with your favorite channels. Again, it's not about me, it's about, if whatever you'd fit, you know, again, I said I've done it for those channels, you should do it in future too. I know notifications are terrible on Android, so even if you watch on Android, I'd recommend going to your PC and doing it, because then you can get emails instead. Whatever you gotta do, I'm just saying, that's how you watch your favorite YouTube channels. You don't have to do it, it's just like there's some fun facts. There's one more thing I wanted to interject before I go. I recorded that and I was like, oh yeah, that was good. And then I just realized I forgot one big thing. This is also the problem with the YouTube homepage idea of like, here's just everything. We're gonna base everything on how many people click through. This really encourages what people call clickbait, or now what they just call YouTube thumbnails, right? What used to be clickbait, titles, and thumbnails, that's just what you have to do on YouTube. So in case you're ever curious as to why so many of your favorite YouTubers have to do this, you know, I think even my videos, like they have to be close that way. It's because now YouTube doesn't measure you on how good your videos are for people to watch. It's kind of about your thumbnails. And that sucks in a way, but it just means that now YouTubers have to care more about that, and like there's a thumbnail game. And honestly, when you see YouTubers that are getting big these days, they're not better at videos than the past generation. They're better at thumbnails, and that's something that amused me, but made me realize like, well, if I'm gonna have to get good at thumbnails, just something I realized I wanted to share. Anyway, before I go, here's me over a British flag. Have a nice day, and we'll get back to the real outro. Let me just mention, I have a channel with like 3,000 Minecraft console videos now. If you want to learn about something, odds are I've done a video. So many people say, I wish you'd do a video on this toy cat, and I have, but YouTube won't say. So just check out my channel, search it, find the video if you want to find it, and if you can't, then tell me you have a video idea, and then let me know, and I'll be like, whoa, how have I not done that? Or like, oh, I haven't done it for this reason, but I should try. And then we can have a better working relationship. There you go. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Like if you liked it, share if you really liked it, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.